season as well. Thank you, sir.
Call Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Please take the last call on this criminal procedure legislation bill. Largely agree with the last speaker, and I think it's fair to say that there's fairly broad support for this technical piece of legislation, but very necessary nonetheless. Mr Speaker, when we look at this whole criminal justice pipeline, if you like, there is a bottleneck, a very small junction when it comes down to the delivery of that justice, and the measures within this bill largely go towards addressing that. And as a police officer and detective in front of courts and taking victims through what is a very, very arduous process, Mr Speaker, stays of proceedings and difficulties with witnesses getting into court and their recall, the drawn-out nature of the process is often causing added hurt and delaying healing. And it's a convoluted and diluted justice systems in many ways in the eyes of those who are subjected to it, generally through no fault of their own. Mr Speaker, one of the key areas in this bill is about addressing the justice delayed, justice denied notion. And the key area really is about amending an act that goes back some 60 years. It has its origins some 60 years ago and has been subject to much ad hoc additions and reforms and so forth. Arguably a lot of what we do in this criminal justice space could fit into that category, and it is somewhat a balloon which is full and is squeezed and bulges in different directions and must be addressed, Mr Speaker, in a pragmatic fashion. This bill is very much in line with a number of the other changes that this government has been committed to right across the criminal justice spectrum, and that goes right through to the way in which our police are engaging and making our communities safer places and their focus on prevention. It goes to a lot of the changes that have been very much a part of the last few years in terms of the criminal justice system and how it operates and its expediency and focus on victims, and right through the other side to where we deal with matters from corrections. And it's all about getting the balance right across that spectrum, Mr Speaker, and right at the centre of it is very much what this bill is about, very technical but very necessary. And certainly as someone who worked in the field, I can vouch for the fact that it will make a difference in the lives of many New Zealanders, and I think many professionals across the spectrum would share with me in their support of this. Mr Speaker, it's a technical bill, not a sexy bill, but pragmatic, common sense. Mr Speaker, I think that says a lot about what we see on this side of the House. I know I commend it to the House. Thank you.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it.
Criminal Procedure Legislation Bill, first reading.
The question is that the Criminal Procedure Legislation Bill be considered by the Justice and Electoral Committee. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Call on Government Order of the Day number 6.